Now we need to override we need to make a new region called update and draw and region. We need to override public override update. Now we'll leave base.update but with code above it. So if our object status is dying, or if our object is dead, let's just add a comment in here. Game over. So we'll get to that later. Now, time until fire, we want to decrease this. There's a subtract inside of the time span, but inside of the time span's object. So time until fire is equal to time until fire dot subtract game time dot elapsed game time. So time until fire is equal to time until fire dot subtract. We pass a game time dot elapsed game time. That gives us a new time until fire time span that will identify if we can fire or not. In the initial sample, I used the time span dot from seconds and I subtracted it that way. Either way will work, but this way is just easier. If time until fire dot total seconds is less than or equal to 0, can fire is equal to true. Then we update we call base.update. Now we need to check our boundaries, which we have not created yet, but we can create our method call right here and it will allow us to create it on its own. So what I did was there was a box underneath the C and I hover over that and I did implement data and it generated it for me. So our check bounds, position is equal to new vector 2 math helper dot clamp position dot x comma bounds dot x comma bounds dot width. Now I'll discuss this after we finish the whole call. Math helper dot clamp position dot y comma bounds dot y comma bounds dot height. Okay, so what this means is this clamps, which means the value of position.x will never go below this value and never go above this value. So if it's above the width, it will set the position.x to the width. If it goes below the x, it will set the position.x to the bounds.x. So that's all that clamp does. It will never allow a value to go below the minimum or above the maximum. If it does go below the minimum, it will set it to the minimum. If it does go above the maximum, it will set it to the maximum. And we'll do that for both the x and the y. So that way it stays in our safe area or our bounds area. So that's our check bounds. Now, okay, so now we need to make another method called public void handle input. And let's leave it blank and let's just add a comment called handle the input. And we'll get to that later when we finish up the game over comment. But inside the update, right before base.update, let's call handle input. Okay. So handle update comes before base.update and then we check the bounds. Alright, so there's a few more methods we need to create. So at the end region. Let's make a new region called public methods. And end region public void enemy killed. And that just increases our kills ++. Public int get kills. And that method just says return kills. Now public int get hits. Return hits left. Okay, so now these are actually string. So get hits left dot to string. Public string get kills, return kills dot to string. And there we go. Now, as you can see, we made a mistake here. Public class player is not a derivative of gameplay object. It is derivative of ship. So change to public class player : ship. Now we should have our hits left available to us. Return hits left dot to string. There we go. I apologize for that. So now that's it for this tutorial. Next tutorial we'll discuss the enemy class and get that almost complete, and then we'll, since we have every class available from that point, we can finish off all of our gameplay object classes. So we have 2 more tutorials left before all of our gameplay objects are finished. Hope to see you next time.